excited to bring our next speaker, and I had the pleasure of connecting with our next speaker, Ms. Stephanie Boyd. I met her through Richland County Sheriff Department. Stephanie has been an advocate in the program of training individuals on self-defense. Amazingly, we don't think about this as to the degree of why we need to learn more about self-defense. And Stephanie has been one of those who have advocated on the force for a number of years, and she'll give you a little bit more background on that. And not just that, she has just made a gigantic jump. And so, a great transaction. But what I can say about her is, when we call her, she has always been there. You'll notice that you'll see her at with different events that pertains to domestic violence. You'll see her coming out. She's been with our mentee, Delisa Adams. She spoke, generally speaks at their events. Delisa has an organization called Visions of Women. And everyone in here knows Tina Torres and her events, which is, and so what I recommend that if you, well, let me rephrase that. She's in the school systems now, so, but I do know that she's an individual that if you need her, she's always available. And so without further ado, I want you guys to continue eating. What Stephanie's going to do is I asked her to talk to us about awareness. And so she's going to give each of us some pointers of things that we need to be aware of. And if you have any questions, be sure to connect with her and anyone in here that's an advocate after the event is over with. So with a round of applause, let's welcome. This one.
I think I talk pretty loud. Maybe I don't need a microphone. I don't know. Does this work? Does this work? Yeah. Can y'all hear me if I don't use the microphone? Yeah. I've always been told I got a big mouth, so maybe it'll work this time. So my name is Stephanie Boyd. I spent the last 10 years of my life, I guess I could say I'm the founder of myself. That's first, because it takes a long time to find yourself. I don't want to stand back. Oh, I can go by the camera. I don't want to be like, oh.
Okay.
Okay, so, but as women, I get more excited when I get asked to speak to women, because I'm often pulled to mentor youth and our youth that are in trouble and stuff of that sort. And when they asked me to come speak to you all today, I was very excited because we get overlooked. We get overlooked that we need mentoring. We need people to pour into us as well. When she said she wanted me to come and speak on awareness, the first thing that hit me is when you see something, say something. And I think that's the first part of awareness. I spent the last 10 years of my life at the Richland County Sheriff's Department, and I was our juvenile investigator. So I've been in the streets with juveniles that are subject to human trafficking, to domestic violence, stuff of that sort. And I speak at a lot of events, and I've had to identify too many dead children and stuff that I can't unsee. But like I said, when I am asked to speak here, I get really excited because, like I said, we as women get overlooked for everything that we do. We need our own mentoring. We need people to pour into us. And so I think that it's important. She asked me to speak, and like I said, the first thing that hit my spirit, and I believe to go as God tells you to go, was to see something, say something. And these days we are so caught up in being, oh, it's not my business, I'm going to mind my own business, that's her problem, that's their problem, that ain't got nothing to do with me. But then on the other hand, we're quick to say, well, I'm my sister's keeper, or that's my best friend, or that's my girl. But is it really though? Because you're going to mind your business, right? Right. And so I think that that's important, that we need to know that if you see something going on, or if you hear something going on, to say something. Even if it's very discreetly, say, hey, I noticed the change in your attitude, the change in your atmosphere. You're a little different. Is everything okay? You don't have to go straight to them and say, yo, what's wrong with you? Or why, but how you approach somebody and how you approach a person that's going through trauma or dealing with something is very important, and you can do it without being intrusive. Because they're going to talk when they want to talk. You know, my phone rings still, and I still work part-time for the Sheriff's Department. She said I made a transition. I absolutely did. I'm now the Security and Emergency Manager for Richland County School District 1. So when I say that my body's been going through a transition, you don't realize what you put yourself through until you don't go through it anymore. And I've been going through it the last month. I said I feel like, I don't know, it's just been weird. I've been going through it. And I'm okay, but it's definitely been an adjustment and a transition. And so when we're in positions like this, you know, my phone still rings. Or people will call me and say, hey, I have this friend that's going through whatever the relationship is or whatever the situation is. Even if you're a resource, if you don't want to get into it because it's not your business, give resources. Give places that they can go, because when they're ready, they're going to go. You can't force anybody to get out of a situation until they're ready to be out of a situation. And you might think it looks one way, but they don't see it that way. But again, you've got to say something to somebody. Because if not, God forbid something happens to that person. And guess who has a conscience in here? I believe we all do.
Yes.
So then we always want to know, can we do more? What should have I done? Why didn't I say something? And even if it's something as simple as calling me to say, hey, look, Stephanie, I have this friend of mine who's going through this. What do you suggest I do? By no means am I a counselor, but I give some pretty good advice. And I have some pretty good expertise and knowledge in these subjects. So it's always important to say something to somebody. You don't have to call and be like, hey, girl, Stephanie's going through this, and put all their business out there. You can call somebody and say, hey, look, I have a friend, or I know somebody. But again, it's always your business, if you're your sister's keeper, to say something. There's plenty of resources out there, and sometimes we get in situations where we're very prideful. So if we're going through something, we don't want people to be in our business. But at the same time, you make hints or little cliches to let them know what's going on, hoping that they ask you what's going on. So they have a reason to speak, or they have a reason to tell you what's going on. But if you just say, oh, girl, I'm going to pray for you. I don't need you to pray for me. I need you to help me.
Yeah.
After you help me, then pray for me, or we can pray together, but I need help.
That's right.
And so you guys make sure that we're a resource to our sisters. Or when you say, I'm my sister's keeper, you truly are your sister's keeper.
That's right.
Don't just say it. I don't want you to say you're going to pray for me just because that's the thing to say.
Right.
I don't want you to say I'm going to help you, or girl, I got you, but do you really?
Thank you.
You know, and so many times we do stuff, and we have people that are going through things, and you don't even realize it because you never asked. Or you don't say, how are you doing? No, how are you really doing? Because we're always going to say we're okay. But how are you really doing?
That's right. That's right.
And then we need to be mindful when we have friends that are in situations that we don't know about, or you speculate, usually our guts are right, that we don't put them in harm's way. Right? So we don't need to use our cell phones to post everywhere that we're at.
That's right. That's right.
People don't need to know that we're at California Dreaming for a happy hour.
Thank you.
They don't need to know we're here for a tea. Post it tomorrow.
Right.
Maybe people don't want them to know where you're at, so stop tagging your friends.
Right.
You know, I don't like people to know where I'm at.
Me.
Not all the time. And I always put out there. You know, even today, I look cute. We look cute. Right? So I want to post me in my little cute dress, and I even had my friend call me and say, girl, you can't be half-stepping today. Got my makeup on. I was like, yo, I got to keep these lashes on all day. Yeah. He was like, don't you take them off. And for any of y'all that know Tina Torres, right, she don't be half-stepping. And that's my best friend. So we got to do a gala tonight. So she's fussing at me this morning. Where are you going? I said, girl, I'm going to get my makeup done. Okay, girl, it's too early for this. Don't be. So even when you look cute and you want to post stuff, don't tag all your friends. Or maybe say, hey, look, do you mind if I post this? And then if I don't post stuff, I'll say to you, hey, Retta, if you post it, just tag me in it. Right? But be mindful of who you associate yourself with, what they're going through, and they don't want everybody in their business, but you can do it respectfully. You can do it mindfully. And again, you can get your friends help without being intrusive or without telling everybody their business. Before I leave, I'll give you guys my phone number. I'm always a resource. If I don't know, I know somebody who knows somebody, because I know a lot of somebodies. But you can always call me. I still have my Richland County phone number. It rings 28 hours a day, and I do answer it because I still am on there. But I'm actually an advocate for Richland County, an investigator for Richland County, a certified women's self-defense instructor, a mentor, an empowerment speaker. I don't even know, whatever else God. You add to it. But most importantly, I'm the founder of myself, and that took a really long time.
Yes.
So just make sure that we walk in our purpose, we do it gracefully, and we walk in like we own the room.
Yes. Yes.
Short but sweet, that's it. Oh, my phone number, okay. Don't talk too fast, please.
Yes, but I'm gonna get the weight to say what you're saying.
You sure you want me to rewind?
I'm gonna do it.
I can rewind. Okay. My phone number is 803-543-4864. And I do answer it. It's 803-543-4864. If I don't answer, shoot me a text and be like, hey, I just have a question or whatever, and I will call you back. But just make sure you guys have that. Ma'am? My first name is Steffany. My last name is Boyd, Boyd.
Your name is Stephen?
Stephanie Boyd, Boyd.
Can you repeat your number one more time?
803-543-4864. Also, if you need a resource for like women's self-defense, it's posted on the Sheriff's Department website under programs. I just came up with the 2023 classes, so those should be posted shortly. If you want groups or stuff like that, just let me know and I can help you with that. I just ask that you have a group of 10 or more, and it's for women only, no males at all. So we can do that with the group as well. So if you need anything, let me know. The phone number, 803-543-4864. Okay, if y'all need me, call me. That's okay, me too. Thank you very much for having me today. I appreciate it.
La parte que les voy a traer ahora es que Stephanie Boyd trabaja en el departamento de policía hace unos buenos años y ella está recalcando de que si miran a alguien que ha sido abusada, que informen de una manera u otra, pero hay muchas maneras de ayudar. No se tienen que poner en riesgo, simplemente busca una manera como ayudar a esta persona que está siendo víctima de abuso doméstico. Hay muchas maneras, puede calladitamente llame a la policía o puede buscar recursos para esta persona. Hay muchas maneras de conseguir ayuda. También puede hablar con la persona que es una víctima de abuso doméstico y investigar qué está pasando y buscar una manera para ayudarla. Hay muchas maneras de ayudar. No se queden callados, porque si algo le sucede a esta víctima, si la matan o si sucede algo bien horrible, esta persona no le dimos la ayuda que necesita. Entonces lo que va a pasar es que lo vamos a sentir culpables. Stephanie Boyd está aquí para ayudarlo en todos los aspectos de abuso doméstico. Ella también tiene una clase simplemente para mujeres, cómo defenderse. Para cómo defenderse en un acoso de abuso doméstico, sea en la calle también. Ella está aquí para eso. Y les voy a dejar su número de teléfono, es 803-543-4864. 803-543-4864. No pude recartar todo porque ella fue un poco más rápido que yo y el idioma es en inglés, pero como quiera sigo tratando de traerle lo mejor que yo pueda de abuso doméstico. Ella tiene unos buenos años trabajando en abuso doméstico. Ella sabe cómo lidiar y cómo conseguir la ayuda que necesita una persona que es víctima de abuso doméstico. Pueden llamarle. Ella no habla español. Le voy a preguntar si ella tiene alguien que habla español. Un momentito. Stephanie Boyd. Could I ask you a question? Do you have anybody that speaks Spanish in the Department of Police?
Yes, we have a whole division.
Ok, tienen suerte. Ella tiene el departamento entero que hablan español. No se detengan, no tengan miedo. Ellos están aquí para apoyarlos. Pueden ir al departamento de policía y llamar el número que les di ahí presente para conseguir la ayuda que necesitan. Ella va a buscar la manera, no tengan miedo, sale allá afuera. Sé que cuando están en esa situación, tienen miedo, no saben cómo salir adelante, no saben qué hacer, pero ella tiene toda la alternativa.
Also, if they ever call the Richland County Sheriff's Department, if they're in trouble or in a situation, there's always a Spanish on-call person, so there should be no reason why they shouldn't get services or be afraid to call because of a language barrier.
Okay.
They can always get services because somebody is able to translate.
Okay. Ella me dijo que si llaman al departamento de policía, muchos que hablan español, hay ayuda, pueden llamar al departamento de policía y alguien los va a ayudar. El idioma no va a impedir que busquen ayuda del departamento de policía para que ellos la ayuden y los asesoren en lo que necesita, y hay muchos recursos para los abusos domésticos. Bueno, yo voy a seguir grabando. Les puedo decir que cuando se me termine la grabación, les dejo saber y vamos a seguir con el programa. El programa está bien candente, bien importante y interesante para ustedes. Ok.
Want me to go back up there?
Hello? You guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, can you guys hear me now? Yes. All right. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Keziah. I'm Dr. Juanita's granddaughter, and I'm here to read you guys a poem called If I Cry Alone. If I cry alone, am I like the tree falling in the forest? The one that if no one to hear it, then doesn't make a sound. Does pain have a voice, or a shape, or a form? And if it does, is it the shape of a teardrop? And if the tear drops, where does it go? Does it still exist? And if pain has a voice, is it a sob, a cry in the dark? And if I cry alone, then no one will hear it. And if no one hears it, does it make a sound? Thank you.
Ella dio un verso precioso, no lo puedo traducir porque fue un poco rápido también, pero espero que si no entienden, que consigan un intérprete para que le traduzcan. No sé a quién le toca la otra parte.
All right, ladies, we are down to our keynote speaker. And before I introduce our keynote speaker, I do have to share that this morning I found out something at the last minute that no one actually knew. We supposed to have had Coroner Rutherford, who was going to be serving as our keynote speaker. Unfortunately, due to a serious situation with her health, she was unable to be here. She did have surgery, and she did try with all of her power to be here. I discovered from her assistant, Mrs. James, that she had canceled all of her events except for this one.